You a Star Wars fan? Because you'll be amazed at number one, that a lot of women might be into the shit that you're into, but you're so worried about her judging you that you don't give it half a chance. But also some of the things that you're not into, you'll be amazed at how women would want to get into it because they want to get closer to you.
A lot of times they say shit like, "Oh, I'm free on weekends," or I'm usually free on Thursdays," or whatever the hell. So if it makes sense, then I schedule a date.
If she really liked you from the get-go, there would be no reward system you would have to look for to do anything for, right? Because it would automatically be there, And I like to do this in conversation sometimes. When you're speaking with somebody and you'll hear a girl say something like, "I'll never do this," or "I don't like this," or "I don't like that." And then you'll notice you'll say, "Nah, I kind of like it. I like it when blah, blah, blah." And she's like, well, yeah, when you say it like that, I like it, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you switched up awfully fast for somebody that just really said they don't like something. And so, there's always been clues out there for fellas to understand, like, yo, if they really like you, they will change their whole political party.
They're not giving her real instruction. They're not letting her know what it really is. And most dudes don't do it. Most dudes don't say what it is because they're afraid to hear no, or they're afraid to bring up sex too early and all of this and all of that. But the bottom line is this. Either, again, and somebody said it, either she's feeling you or she's not. You understand? Either she's feeling you or she's not. We got to stop all this nonsense, man. Guys are too afraid to hear no, and it's like I'd rather hear no than to waste 2, 3, 4 dates and time spent, money spent, and all this other shit just to find out that you wasn't feeling me any damn way. You see what I'm saying? But so with me, first date is cool. If you don't want to do it on the first date, no problem. You could be on your period or whatever it is. There's a lot of things that could be off on the first date, right? It doesn't matter. But second date, you gotta know what it
is. For me, I like exclusive vagina to me. And that's because I don't want to catch nothing to have my later years messed up. And I like to stroke without no condom on. It feels great.
No.
So I like it.
So you like to be hugged by the sugar walls? You like to be hugged?
Yeah. I like that velvet, plush velvet. The smoothness. So,
but even then, J. Roman, I hear you.
He don't get up for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So, and the reason is because he has to conserve his energy to do 3 full workouts a day up until his competition date. You understand? So when he's in season, he literally just works out as hard as he can. Then he sits on the couch and his wife brings him everything. The only thing she don't do is fucking piss for him, right? So what I'm saying is, it's one thing to have a wife that does it, because you said earlier, these were the words you used. You said a woman who says, "Oh, I rock with this dude, so I don't mind doing this." But see, it's a difference between a woman who doesn't mind and a woman who cheerfully wants to do it. Understand the position of a simp. Make sure you understand the position of a friend zone nigga. Make sure you understand that a man doesn't do anything for nothing. You understand? So run the game, be careful, and do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. And that's the right there, J. Roman. And that's the problem. Your main chick should always be prioritized over all the new chicks. Right? The new chicks should not get preferential treatment. Right. So what would make it difficult for a lot of women is if you're giving girlfriend treatment to the new chick. Right. So this is why when you very first meet women, you have to establish boundaries and parameters where they got to earn everything. So that way, when the main chick is with you and she knows you're dealing with new women, she knows they have to go through the gauntlet too. They just don't get shit quicker. Like if
labyrinth, streets be the maze. Hosts on the mic, carry case set in the blaze. Sagging, Miles Cunham with the game so tight. J. Roman lit the torch, keeping it right. Manhood's the challenge, skill set to master. In a world moving fast, gotta move faster. Trap beat pounding 808, shake the floor. Guided by the host, wisdom like law. Carry K drops jewels, the crowd enthralled. Words cut deep, no need for brawls. Miles Cunningham, tactic sharp like a dagger. Navigates the game, makes the haters stagger. Journey to manhood, no easy feat. Lessons from the masters, words concrete. J. Roman with the keys, opens the door. Manhood's the path, gotta crave for more. Manhood's the challenge, skill set to master. In a world moving fast, gotta move faster. Trap beat pounding 808, shake the floor. Guided by the host, wisdom like law.
Yo. Hold on, let me hey Justin. Oh, there you go. I was gonna remove you and have you come back. I didn't know if you was in a towel or something like that, and you didn't know we
No, we're good. We're good.
Compromise yourself on camera and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? What's going on?
No, we're good. Oh yeah, just preparing for this snowstorm that's about to hit New York, and 12 inches were expected, and so prepping for that, yep, and editing my third book. So I've got I published this one here. This is the Codex of the Sovereign Order, and it's basically like it operates kind of like a Bible, where there's different chapters and verses in there, but it's poetic, it's a bit esoteric in its delivery, but it's all wisdom for men and those who identify with the dominant archetype. But then the other one is the companion book to it, which is all for submissives, but it's on like a very, very deep level. So the submissive one is what I'm working on right now. Yeah, just the editing process.
Real quick. Real quick, my bad. Frankie Shy, and for everyone wondering, Miles will be here. Miles will be here. He's running a little behind. So also, until he comes in, call cannot be taken until Miles is here because he runs the phones, right? So he will be here. He's just running late. So until Miles get here, we can't do the calls, right? For anyone who's interested in calling in. And let me plug the joint right quick. Real game is emotional foresight. Most men miss this. And we're going to get into, as a man, guys, it's very, very important that you not only police yourself and that you regulate your own emotions when dealing with women, but that you are always present and understanding of how a woman's emotions are impacting the situation with you. A lot of you guys, you don't understand how to deal with women, whether you're able to lead or not lead. How you deal with women, in many cases, will determine whether or not a woman's emotions comes into the equation and destabilizes the situation and fucks up the attraction between you two. And this is one reason, real quick, why we tell you guys, stop spending the night, stop taking showers, stop doing non-sexual shit with women you just met, but more specifically, stop doing that shit with women that you don't want to date seriously, right? Because you're literally inviting a woman's emotions into the situation when you do non-sexual shit. You're inviting them in. And a lot of you guys, you're not prepared to deal with that. Now, Justin, real quick, your book, because I'm curious, what is the title of it? Do you have a title already for the new one you're working on?
The one made for women?
No. You said you're editing your third book, right?
Yeah. That's the one made for women and submissives. It's called The Annals of the Yielded Queen.
Gotcha.
The one made for men and dominance. This one's already available on Amazon. It's called The Codex of the Sovereign Order. So yeah, that's what's ready now. The third one is for women.
All right, cool. That's what's up.
Mhm.
All
Yeah, and then the
righty.
first
So,
was something
guys,
that I
real
already
quick.
made like a long time ago, but now it's available on
Yeah,
Amazon.
the
This is
first one.
the How to Be a Dominant Lover. So that's
Oh,
available.
can you put that back up there? Can you put it
Yeah,
back up there?
sure.
Guys,
Mhm.
look at this book. Look at the book. How to Be a Dominant Lover. And if anyone, is that on Amazon or
Yeah,
Kindle or anything
yeah.
like
So you can
that?
go in the search bar and just search the Dominance Academy, and the books will come up. Yeah.
All right. And if anybody can put the Dominance Academy, oh, there it is right there. Oh, hold on. Hey, Jillian. I wasn't trying to put your joint up there, but good afternoon, young lady. There you go, right there. Right, guys, right there. Matter of fact, I can't copy and paste from here. All right, guys, right there. His YouTube channel, the Dominance Academy. I'm sure the links, you have the links underneath the description, right? On your channel for the YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's in the description of all the videos, the links to
Okay, there you
everything.
go.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
There you go, Justin. That's for you.
Mhm.
No, that
Thanks very
question right there.
much. Oh, do you also have audio versions? Not yet. Not yet. And they will be done as my voice. I'm not gonna have AI create the whole thing. It's gonna be my voice. So that'll be coming up, but that's a very time-consuming process. The recording and the editing, like it's painstakingly crazy.
There you go. Real quick, for anyone coming in a little late, Miles will be here. Jay Roman, he'll be here. I believe he will be. Miles will be here. He's running late. When he gets here, we'll open up the phone lines, right? Until such time that Miles is available, you can ask questions, however, right? Put a Q in the chat, followed by your questions, and we can definitely answer your questions. Matter of fact, for any of you that are interested or curious about what Mr. Justin offers, this is a perfect time to ask him questions right now.
Mhm.
This is a
Yeah.
perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
Right. So, take advantage of the fact that we're still waiting on women to get in here and Miles to get in here before we really get the show ramped up. Right. Just, take advantage of this quote unquote downtime. Right. And I hate to, look at it like that, but, we're still waiting on two other individuals before we, are at full strength here. So, guys, take advantage of this time.
Mhm.
Again, what are we talking about? Game is emotional foresight. Most men miss this. Mr. Justin, I'm interested on your take on the topic at hand today, brother.
Well, I don't know what angle that you're coming at it from, having emotional foresight, but um, for me, when I think about that concept, emotional foresight, what comes to mind is being able to read, right? And that requires, you mentioned, having some sort of emotional control, but also being able to read the emotional states of other people. Because when you are leading and you do have someone who is like fully under your cover, you have to read them. You have to be able to pick up on cues and things like that in order to guide them to where you would like them to be. Because we know girls, like they're not like this constant state every single day. They shift like
No,
throughout the month,
exactly.
right? So in order to kind of have things run smoothly, you're not exactly like bending to whatever that is, but more so like guiding this sort of thing. And so it's like a little boat, and the wind will catch it depending on like that emotional state, and will pull her in this way or that. And you're the one who has control of the rudder and controlling of the sails and saying, okay, we're going to pull this way. And I think like having foresight is being able to see like into the future and to envision like what it is that you want, the purpose that you're doing these sort of things, and being mindful of that.
There is a word. Let me see if I can find that word right here. There's a word right there.
Oh, and real quick, shout out to my
Stewardship.
girl. Shout out to my girl. She's in the chat here.
Okay, shout out to her. Shout out to her. Shout
Yeah.
out, young lady. Shout out to you, young lady. Let me see if I can find a definition here. The definition is kind of long, right? So, stewardship, right? I want to read the definition of stewardship, right? And I want men to pay attention. This is the definition. This is not my definition. This is the definition of stewardship. Stewardship is the responsible, careful management of something entrusted to one's care, encompassing resources like the environment, finances, property, or even one's own time, talents, body with care. With core principles of accountability, ethical practice, and long-term vision. Right? So let's go back up to the top. Stewardship is the responsible, careful management
of something entrusted to one's care. So, guys, for all the guys that want a woman to be submissive, you want a woman to cooperate with you. Well, if a woman is going to be doing that, guess what? She's entrusting you, right? She's entrusting you to make decisions that benefit both of you guys. So a lot of you guys, you say, oh, I want a woman to be submissive. I want to deal with women on my own terms. Well, do you have the ability to be a good steward, right? Again, stewardship is the responsible, careful management of something entrusted to one's care. So let me just say this and I'll pass it to you, Justin. So if any guy knows anything about attraction and you know anything about how a woman can fall for you real quick and how things can move fast for her emotionally when she's dealing with certain men that she's attracted to. If you know anything about how women behave, then you will know it's not only in your best interest, but it's in a woman's best interest to not allow her to get too emotional too soon, right? You would understand how to manage that situation. So you guys that are meeting women that are allowing women to spend a night right away, you're doing non-sexual shit. What you don't understand is that you are opening Pandora's box for her emotions. And at that juncture, you're not prepared for what comes with it. So what typically happens is you guys run into situations where you and a woman are battling and she's complaining about not getting enough time or she's complaining about what you're doing. And that's because you're inconsistent with the non-sexual shit that you introduced. And now that her emotions are involved, you're not managing it well, right? Justin, you want to speak to that, my brother?
Yeah, usually they're like a deer caught in the headlights, you know, like when the woman's emotions, whatever they are, whether it's her happiness and her lust and her desire, or she's frustrated, or she's sad, or she's angry. A lot of guys just really don't know how to handle that. They freak out a little bit. It feels like pressure to them, and really the only way to manage that is to actually have exposure to it and train yourself internally not to respond, like not to react, and just kind of like relax into it. And it just takes practice. So you actually have, in order to develop that muscle, you have to put yourself in these situations. Like you have to allow her to get upset, to like fall in love with you, to be lustful or whatever the emotion is, and test your resolve to remain stable and still within that. As far as the thing that you just mentioned, there's about the stewardship, I think the key word there is entrusting, because that is an action of the other person, right? They're saying, I'm choosing to do this, right? Based on who you are. So it's a reaction and a choice based around who you are. So you could have all the desires of like, this is what I would like to do, but if they don't trust you, it's not going to happen. And a lot of that has, well, becoming trustworthy is a whole huge thing. So we won't get into that. But the other thing that I want to mention is like the entrusting with a plan or direction. But the thing is that a lot of times guys, if they don't have themselves sorted out internally, those plans and directions are often heavily influenced by the crap that's inside them that they haven't sorted out. So like, here's like a prime example. Like I heard someone say online, my girl is not allowed to go out without me. She can't go to the grocery store alone. She can't go out with her friends. She can't go on vacations, nothing unless it's with me. And the reasoning is her safety. Like I'm afraid, and like, come on, we're in 2026. Like people aren't just like getting jumped and things like that. It's not like the way it was like many years ago. We live in a fairly safe society, generally speaking. So that I think is just utter bullshit. And really what it is that the guy is petrified of her coming into close proximity with another dick. That's really what it comes down to. He's afraid of another man's influence. So he's like, I'm so scared that someone else's influence is greater than mine. I'm going to put all of these social restrictions on her to put a safety barrier around my emotions, so I feel emotionally safe. So I'm going to control her so I feel safe. And that's a place of weakness. That's creating a structure based on your insecurities. That's not based on a integrity of a relationship structure. It's based on you, and not even your developed you. It's like your immature, undeveloped, like childlike you, and that's no way to lead something. And so if you really did want to have, like, I have some restrictions in my relationship, but it's more so to develop her habit of just deferring to me. So if she goes somewhere, it's not like you can't, but she has to tell me what's going on. She tells you, okay, I'm going to work now. I've arrived at work. I'm going to the grocery store. I went to the restaurant or whatever. And it's not really like, oh, I need to know so I feel safe. It's more so to train her to constantly get comfortable with deferring and just having that habit built in. And that's it. It's like nothing
right
really
there.
for me.
Right there, and I'll pass it to you, Jay Roman. Right there, what you just said. When we talk about coaching a woman or training a woman to be with you, right? A lot of women don't like the word training, but so what? What you're doing is you're saying, in order for you to be with me, there's a certain way you have to move so we have synergy. So we're on the exact same page. In order for this relationship to be fruitful, healthy, and well balanced, I need for you to move a certain way. Now, the woman has free will to say yay or nay to that. If she doesn't move, then she gets moved on from, right? Assuming you're a man with standards, right? The problem with guys, to your point about the other guy, you cannot have rules, regulations, standards, and boundaries for a woman in your life established because of fear or because of insecurities. Those cannot be the reasons, right? Because those are all emotions, right? What Mr. Justin was talking about was pragmatism, being practical, right? When you have a woman's mind and when you articulate yourself to her, she can get beyond the feelings of it and she can see the reasoning behind what you're doing. That is what makes her get in alignment. But if you're doing things from a standpoint of being emotional, women can't see the logic in it. All they see is the insecurity in it. You got it, Jay.
What's up, everybody?
Morning or afternoon.
Everybody going? Zach, thanks for sending me the right link this time. I was observing the show. He sent me the link to watch instead of to join. So I was observing the show.
My bad.
It started off very smoothly. No, it's all good. Yeah, good morning to everybody. Thanks for joining us here. And I don't know exactly what angle you guys are coming at this with, but for me, forethought is a responsibility, and it's something that the man is accountable for. So we talk about accountability when it comes to ladies and certain things. Everybody, women need to be accountable. Well, there's some jobs and things that men need to do in any sort of relationship. And I'm gonna start off with the relationship with himself. He should have foresight on where he's moving, where he's going, what he's trying to build all by himself. It doesn't start when you get into a relationship. This is a skill that you're already going to develop. You're going to think way down the road. You're going to think multiple reactions to anything once the boulder is pushed. Okay, if I do this, it could go this way. If I do this, it could go the other way. And how do I prepare for both things? More of a responsibility when you choose somebody to walk along with you in this path of yours that you're responsible now, that is under you. So Justin, you were given the example of your girl calling. That's just kind of teaching and training communication, how to communicate on any circumstance, no matter if it's your fault or not your fault. You have a car accident. I want you to call me and say, hey, and be comfortable and used to calling me and say, hey, I just had this car accident. What are we going to do from this point? What's going to go happen? And you're there. So you have to be an example. Part of foresight is being an example for whoever's underneath you so they can easily communicate. So you can help them out down that road, or you can build things and they understand the plan down the road. So that's the first thing I think of when it comes to foresight for men, a responsibility that you cannot you cannot put to the side, because after that, whoever's underneath you is just following no plan. No plan for the year. I like to do a presidential address. Like I get the whole family and I go over the focus for the whole year. This is the year's focus. This is what, we're working on. We're working on family health. We're working on this. We're working on getting outside more. We're working on reading more. We're working on this. This is what it's like for the finances. This is what it's going to be like for this. What are you working on? What's your goals? Because of that, now everybody has goals that they're working on for the year. It's not always the ones I set, but hey, what are you working on? Okay, cool. Break. Let's go have a good dinner and let's start this year off right. We go from there. So
what's good, Miles?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Forgive the tardiness. I have to take care of some stuff. All right. What's going on with y'all?
Okay,
But
we good with the phone line, or you need some time?
Yeah. Phone lines are open, 844-672-7300, 844-672-7300. All right. And hit the Cash Apps call, guys.
Go. Let me say this real quick.
You got a Cash App, y'all.
All right.
Let me do this so I can catch Miles up. But let me just read the definition of emotional foresight. And I alluded to this fact earlier that when you're dealing with women, not only are you policing your own emotions to make sure you don't get out of touch with your masculine identity. Shout out to Miles. You don't step outside of yourself. But also, it's about emotional foresight for the woman. This is what guys don't understand about leadership and responsibility. You're responsible for yourself and the woman. The woman is not responsible for you.
Bro.
He's not responsible for you. Real quick, as an aside, this is why you cannot vent to women.
Yo.
Women don't care. Let me tell you why women don't care about your problems. Let me tell you why. A woman is looking at you like, if I got you, who got me?
Right.
If I got you mentally and emotionally, if I got you, who the fuck got me?
Yep.
Because if you're venting, if you're venting, this is what it means when you're venting, you can't figure out a solution to it.
Right.
You can't figure out a solution to it. So if you're venting about your problems, a woman is looking at you like, aren't you the man? Should you find a solution to what ails you? Why the fuck are you crying to me about that shit?
Right. All right. So we got 718. You're on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. Name, age, city, and where did you send it?
Yo, it's me, Moses. Yo, I'm about to send it to you right now to Cash App.
You're supposed to send it before you call, fam.
That's New York.
You got to send it before you call. But go ahead, Moses.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
All right.
While Moses is doing that, let me read the definition of emotional foresight. Emotional foresight, often referred to in psychology. Moses, hold on, bro. Let me read the definition. Hold on. Emotional foresight, often referred to in psychology as effective forecasting, is the ability to predict your future emotional states in response to potential events. It involves anticipating how you might feel, allowing you to make better, more informed decisions in the present to align with future goals. That means you have practical thoughts in what you do. Y'all got it.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Hey, Moses, what's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Yes, you got it. I sent it.
I don't see it yet, but I don't want to hold up the show. Go ahead. And Moses, this is why you can't do that. You can't like call in and then hold up the show. You get what I'm saying, bro? Like you got it. This would make no sense for you to do it before you call in. But go ahead. Just go ahead.
I only have one question, Miles, about the shea butter. Is it? I know wintertime is good. And what about springtime when it's not?
Yeah, I don't sell shea butter in the spring and the summer because by the time it get to you, it's gonna be liquid. It's gonna melt. It's because my shit is all natural, so I can't put extra additives to make it stay as a whipped butter. You understand? Mm-hmm. So that's why I can only sell it. In the fall and the winter.
But no, I'm talking about if I have it already, because I'm in.
Oh, you mean like the shelf life? You mean the shelf life? No, it's a year round thing. Like it doesn't go bad. It doesn't go bad at all.
What's the name of that? Let me write
Yeah, just watch it where it caller real quick. Just pay attention to where you store it. You don't want to store it somewhere where it's super warm.
Wait, what do you need to write down?
No, just to make sure. You said the other lotion is called what's the name of the other one? You said?
I didn't say no other one.
Oh no, after the shea butter, you mentioned something else.
I didn't say no.
Ag was mentioning how to store it.
Oh, storage. Excuse me.
So maybe if you're worried about the shea butter itself, you can always store your shea butter in the refrigerator. They even sell little refrigerators to store certain items that are natural cosmetically that you can buy on Amazon, where you can store little things to make sure it doesn't go.
A good rule of thumb is like 60 degrees. 66 degrees, around there, 60 to 66 degrees. That's like the best temperature to store it at.
Yeah, definitely. Because when I get it,
about a man who knows this product. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely keeping it in the fridge. But I'm talking about like when, let's say, like when the winter time is over, then spring hits.
Okay.
In
Moses, my brother, Moses, bro. You're really thinking too much about this. You're really thinking.
I'm not gonna lie. I hate this whole conversation right now. I'm just.
Moses, did you
really overthinking
what's going on, my bro? Did you have anything else going on?
Everything else is good, man.
Okay, all right.
That's all that matters, bro.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, man. But thanks for thinking about getting the shea butter, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I'm not trolling or nothing, man.
Okay. All right. No problem. Appreciate you. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, but the shea butter don't go bad. So if you buy it in the winter and then you still have it in the summertime, as long as it, even if it melts, it still won't go bad. It's just not going to give you the same product experience that you had before, where you can put it on your skin as a butter. You understand? It'll just be more of a liquid.
Okay, real quick, while we have some downtime, the call-in line is open, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all ladies, some of y'all be watching in the shadows and shit. The call-in line is open, 1-844. Damn, I forgot the number already. Hold on, I gotta wait for the shit to come back around. God damn it. 1-844-672-7300. We do have a question though.
Okay.
This is for you, Mr. Justin.
Oh yeah. It's international, so the book will ship, or the books they ship internationally. But your second question here about how to create that sense of presence, that is not a fast or easy answer. It's a process that can take months or years. So, having the groundedness of a man and coming out of the neighborhood of males is not something that you can do overnight. It's something that happens over a long period of time.
Right.
Because you're changing your nervous system, you're changing your perspective, you're changing your mindset, you're changing basically everything about you to exist in a completely different state. And there's no fast answer. There's no 10 steps to becoming present like that on YouTube. Like, that's not real, because it deals with your deepest levels of psychology. But if you want to get on it, just book a call and book a consultation, and we'll talk about it and see what we can do for you.
Let me add this, right? And this is what a lot of guys don't understand. You have to completely change the way that you think. Okay, it's like computer software. Okay, we have to scrub you. Pause. We have to scrub the malware and all that. We have to scrub that shit off of you. Because the way a lot of you guys think is deep rooted in your subconscious. It's deep in your subconscious. There is no way you're going to be able to watch videos and get a coaching session or two and get rid of all of that all of that shit that's deep rooted in your subconscious. You literally have to rewire the way that you think and the way that you receive information. That's what a lot of you guys are trying to do.
I like to look at it
Let me say this, real quick, Daryl. Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. A lot of you guys are looking for shortcuts to get women. That's what you're doing. You're looking for shortcuts to get women, and you don't understand that your mentality and the shit that's in your subconscious is betraying you. Go ahead, Jay.
I like to look at it like the kung fu flicks. Remember when you were younger and all you knew was karate, right? And then you found out about jujitsu and all these different styles of, sort of martial arts, right? To become the master of knowing all these different martial arts. But the first thing on any other one of these trainings they do is they have you do something basic, right? So they tell you don't think about being a master just yet. Just start with this one basic thing for your steps to become, and then you get that one under wraps, and then there's going to be some other ones. So I look at it like once you strip down, you have to do something basic, consistently, successfully before you can even start to build on top of that. Because if not, the whole foundation is coming down. So a lot of times, like Zag was saying with this quick fix, a lot of times you guys don't even understand that you're not even at the point for that answer to come your way. Because let's say that Justin was like, okay, for the presence of a man, you need to jump 20 times in a circle right now.
Right.
And don't give away my secrets.
Yeah, jump 20 times in a circle, bump your head. Like you have to actually understand, okay, now your next question was like, okay, do I jump? How high do I jump? Well, you will know that already if you pull back that onion and start it basically from the bottom all the way to the top. So sometimes, I love the fact that guys call the show. I love the fact that guys reach out, and love the fact that guys actually take advantage of individuals like you guys trying to help them out. But at the same time, you got to be humble and realize, hey, let's start from the basic, the bottom, to rebuild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're making me want to watch the Shaw Brothers films, like 36 Chambers of Shaolin. That movie. And when you're saying that, it reminded me of that one
matinee
scene.
Karate flicks was dope back in the day.
Yeah, but you reminded me of that one scene in 36 Chambers where the guy, he's like, I'm gonna be the master of this place. Like, I'm gonna be the top dog. And people are like, yeah, right. But he kept working at it. And there was this one scene where, in order to I think it was to eat, you had to jump over this pool of water. And it was just far enough to be like outside of the range of like normal jumping length. And so if you sucked, you weren't eating dinner. You'd have to jump in the water, you'd splash, you'd have to get back on the deck, run, and try again. And it's like, if you kept failing, well, you're not eating that day.
Crazy.
Let me address something real quick. So, Real Mr. Morningstar says changing behavior is superior to changing mentality in regards to change. Bro, you can't change your behavior without changing your mentality. You have to change the way that you think, right? Your behaviors are the byproduct of your mentality. The way that you think. If you have a loser's mentality, you're going to have loser behavior, right? You cannot have a loser mentality and have winner's behavior. Impossible. You got to think like a winner first, and then your behaviors mirror that or in alignment with your mentality. You got to change the way that you think. So an example, a lot of you guys, y'all like to say, well, we were socially conditioned. We were socialized to. Everybody was socialized and socially conditioned one way or another. The difference is a lot of us who aren't sheep, we said, I don't like this feeling. I don't like this shit. I know the Bible says this, or the Quran says this, or the Torah says that, or my parents said this, or these movies say this, but this shit don't make no sense to me. My instincts and my intuition say they got it wrong, right? So now I have to devise a way to get what I want and say, fuck society, because how society says I should move in relation to everything, including women, something is off about society. Like they're trying to funnel me into something that's making me very pliable to everybody else where I don't stand out. I'm trying to fit the fuck in. Y'all got it.
Yeah, I would say that. Go ahead, Jay.
No, just saying that, and that decision ain't popular. Like it's nothing that, sometimes you go through things that, okay, yeah, I choose to be in this house right now. I choose not to socialize. I choose to work on whatever I want to work on and it has nothing to do with anybody else. And it might not be the most popular decision. It might not be the most popular move, but you ain't doing it for everybody else. You're doing it for yourself. So yeah, you might go through a spell. I don't call it a drought. It's me choosing not to go get nothing. So if I choose that, you're not going through a drought. And that's why when I hear when people say, oh, I'm going through a drought, like, okay, are you really going through a drought, or are you focused on other things? Are you really putting your steps to actually getting that thing? Because that thing is easy to get. So, sometimes that mentality makes a world of a difference on you being successful, even at your first step.
Yeah. I was going to say about the relationship between mentality and behavior is that this is also a problem when looking at women and obedience and submission and things like that, because a woman can do what is asked of her and say, hey, do like this, behave like this, speak like this. And let's say she complies and he goes, ha, she's submissive to me. No, she's not. She's just obedient in terms of her behavior. She's just following actions. Right. And this is performative. This is a performative obedience. This is performative submission. And there's some people that they just stay at this level, and that's perfectly fine. But do not mistake that for her handing her will to you, right? You've not penetrated her ego. You've not penetrated her soul. You've not penetrated her mind, and started rewiring all of those things to include to introduce a completely different identity and placing you as that locus of control. That is not what's happening here. So this is what happens when we get caught up into this comparison between behavior and mentality and saying the behavior is where it's at. You say that because that's what you can see, okay? But that just does not make the thing actually that thing, right? We can all perform something. It doesn't mean that's what we are.
So, Mr. Justin, it's very interesting, right? Because you're into BDSM. I have a client, right, that I did a consultation with, and I hope he's watching this. He has a woman that he's dealing with, and he's having sex with, but she's not completely submissive sexually. Like, he'll introduce BDSM shit to her, and she'll do it, like you said, performative. But she never comes all the way to the side of what it means to actually assimilate to the BDSM lifestyle. He stays on the surface. This is what I mean. He told me that when it comes to sex, he only refers to sex as making love or intimacy. She never says fucking. She never says sex. She will never use those words. And I told him, I said, bro, she is not submissive to you sexually. She's holding on to the emotions of what sex means to her, which is why she refers to it as an intimate moment or making love. If you told that chick, I want you to say, I want you to fuck me. And she says, I can't say that. I can only say, I want you to make love to me. She's not submissive. She's not, right? And to your point, you don't have her mind. You don't, because if you did, any type of shame or any type of inhibition she had towards sex, that would crumble under your stewardship. And she would begin to assimilate to your way of thinking. But guess what she has to do? To your point, she has to change her mentality. She has to change the way that she views sex that's more in alignment to the way that you view it. So that way she can start to do it in the way that she needs to do it, where I got her where I want her. She's submissive to it. Yeah, I got it.
Well, and real quick, that can't happen unless you know what you're doing, like as a leader. Then there's like very specific skills and things that are involved in that. But also you have to be trustworthy. Because if a woman can't trust you, she's not relinquishing anything. She's going to stay on that performative level. And this is not even having anything to do with power dynamics or BDSM. Like, this is just her, like, period, like regular interactions, regular dating, like that sort of thing. There's always an interplay of power, and she's going to hold on to hers it's like a 1-to-1 ratio to the level that she trusts you. So if she doesn't trust you, that's not going to happen. And that's two-part as well, because that includes all the shit that she's holding on to due to her past. So if she had like a fucked up childhood and that was really abusive or traumatic or just put her in a shell, then that's going to influence how that trust comes out. And you could be doing everything right as far as like being trustworthy, and it's still not going to happen. So there's a lot of factors in this, which is why you shouldn't take it personally when this stuff happens.
Well, not only that.
Real quick, guys,
go ahead, you got Miles.
Because I want to let the people know, Kobe Lean sent in $19.99 for 3 free calls. So we got 3 free calls, guys. So y'all could call in 844-672-7300. We got 3 free calls, so go ahead and call in 844-672-7300.
Yeah, my bad, Kobe. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, 3 free calls. Go ahead and take advantage, right? So Miles J. Roman, you guys want to speak to what the homie said about? Let me go back to it because we have another question too. Y'all want to speak to what the homie said, or y'all want to jump to the question?
Well, yeah, I agree with what y'all was saying. You know, there's nothing more superior than the mind, because the mind controls your thoughts, your words, and actions. So I don't understand how behavior can be superior to mentality. So, you know, this is just another example of dudes really needing to, you know, embrace the game and get some real wisdom behind them and get some coaching.
To me, it's not
there you go
too much rocket science, right? You can sit there and just say, you know what, I'm gonna have a good day today, and it changes the whole day. You can sit there and be like, hey, you know, whatever happened, I'm not gonna take too much to the heart. You know, people make mistakes. It changes the whole mentality. So the thing is, people don't understand that there's work involved with your mind just as well as with your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so that work with your mind still takes repetition. It still takes dedication and consistency, just like anything else. So, you know, we don't develop who we are as individuals in one day. You know, you have to continue to think and say, hey, I'm going to be this person. Have you ever met somebody that always comes in negative? Like I've met people that just nothing is ever right. You know, the sun is out. Oh my God, man, it's so hot. Yeah, it's raining. Oh man, when the sun's gonna come out? Oh, when, you know, every time there's always a negative thought. And I asked him one day, I said, you just wake up grumpy, or like this is something like, you know? And he looks at me and he's like, no. I said, dude, every time you come in here, you have nothing positive to say. All I said was good morning. You know, it's negative from the jump. And he was like, oh, I don't really see it like that. I didn't know. So we had a little bit of a conversation. So now when I'm like, hey man, good morning, he pauses and he thinks about it and he goes, hey, good morning. Right. And it's no longer the negative thought that enters in. And I see a difference in his personality when he walks through the door and he sees me, where he already knows, like, hey, I'm like the marker that says, okay, don't say nothing negative, right? But really it's all him thinking about, like, okay, oh snap, I do say negative stuff all the time. So later on he came and we had another conversation. He was like, I didn't realize how much negative stuff I say all the time. And this is stuff that we say to ourselves. And you want to, that's why I always warn leaders, don't talk bad about yourself, because at some moment you might start to believe it. Don't joke bad about yourself, because at some moment you might start to believe it. So that mentality is a strong thing, but it needs work. You have to work on it.
Thoughts become actions.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts become actions. Jay Roman, I want to say real quick, because I don't want to gloss over what you said. I think it's important. In that moment, you had so much influence on that man's mind, right? And the reason why I say that is because he has to have a great deal of respect for you, for him to go home and that shit wore on his mind, right? It wore on his mind to the point where it literally altered how he started to think, which in turn changed his behavior. Thoughts become actions. He thought about it, right? And this is what guys, even with women, let's take it back to women. The more influence you have, the more your words mean something to people. The more respect, the more people are fond of you, the more your words and your opinions matter. the problem, and Mr. Justin, you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said the reason why the woman isn't completely submitting is because she doesn't trust you. Trust and respect a lot of times can exist together. Not all the time, but they can exist together. When you deal with women, if there's no trust, there's only but so much respect she has for you. There's only but so much respect because there's a place she won't go with you, right? Real quick, I had a woman one time who she had something happen to her when she was younger, right? You know what I'm saying? So when I first met her, and I didn't know it at first, right? But when I first met her, we started having sex, pretty quickly. But then one day, you know what I'm saying? I think either the first or the second time we had sex, right? I had, because I didn't have her in missionary right away. And then she told me, she says, I have to share something with you. And then she shared something with me and she said, yeah, I was reluctant to do missionary with you because something happened with me, and me being in that position makes me think of that. But with you, I don't feel that way. Right? And the point I want to make is a lot of times it's not necessarily the woman, it's the man. It's the man. When we talk about a woman's sexuality and the depths of a woman's sexuality and her being willing to explore the depths of her sexuality with you, there has to be something about you, to your point, Justin, where she just trusts and she just willfully and gleefully wants to thrust herself into. If a woman is holding back, and Jillian said it earlier, she wants to change him still. And I think there's validity to that. I think when women hold on to shit and they want to maintain a little control, they're hoping that at some point, the more you invest as a man, the more they can get you to come around to their way of thinking. Yeah, I got it.
All right, guys. Call in 844-672-7300. 844-672-7300. Go ahead and call in. How do you Jared says, how do you differentiate between performative submissiveness and real? That's a good question.
It is. And geez, how to explain this? So you have it actually kind of relates to the title of having like emotional foresight, but also emotional insight. And there's obviously like a prerequisite, like you are going to have a difficult time with this if you are heavily influenced by your own emotions, if you're afraid of her emotions, and if you're heavily influenced by your own lust. Like you're not going to be able to perceive, think, and behave cleanly because it's all going to be modified by all that shit. And so this, by allowing those things to be under control, you can calm down and you can start observing things more clearly and start directing things. And through just like a series of particular types of commands and pushing her towards like certain mental positions to like at least consider or test out, then you can start feeling where the resistances are. And then from there, you can then deduce like how to handle those sort of things. I can't really get into specifics because it would just be way too long of an answer. But it just takes perception and a little bit of testing and then measuring like how your influence can then usher her towards something that is more genuine. And it takes work on both parts, because if she's unwilling, then nothing's going to happen, because you can't force someone into genuine submission. It has to be an invitation, and sometimes with a little bit of coaxing and like reassurance. But again, if they've got a lot of fucked up shit going on inside them, no amount of like what you do is going to change that, right? It's something that she has to come to on her own. So you can carve the perfect pathway and say, here, welcome, come this way. And if she's too scared for that, and this happened with a previous relationship of mine, there's really nothing you can do. Like that's their path, and they have to deal with it on their own. They have to go to therapy. They have to do whatever the shit they need to handle. But there's a lot to it. So if you want to learn more, just book a call and we can talk more specifically about your situation in order to determine that. But that said, I've made what is it called, like infographics about the 6 levels of of submission and the 6 levels of dominance to show the difference between like performative, like on both sides, all the way to fully embodying it as an identity. So if anyone's interested in that, like hit me up on whatever platform and I'll send it to you.
Mm-hmm. You know, when to answer that question from my perspective, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know if anybody remembers that scene in The Matrix where Morpheus was explaining shit to Neo, and Neo says to him, "Is this real?" And then Morpheus says, "What is real? Isn't it just a system of impulses?" So it made me think of that when you said performative and real, because my thing is this: in general, this is what I see with women. They're gonna do what they got to do to survive, and if they I think the difference comes in where. All right, I'll say it like this to be concise: the realness of her submission is only as real as your identity. So what do I mean by that? I mean,
break that down.
It's only like, because look, if you get hit by a bus tomorrow, she's gonna have to find another man to follow to some extent. Whether and if she doesn't find herself with a man, she's still gonna follow society. She's gonna follow the government. She's still following a man in some way, form, or fashion. But the point I'm trying to make is that a woman's submissiveness, it's real based on her performative. It's real based on her performative allegiance to your character. That's what I'm saying. I believe a woman is always performative. I believe a woman is always doing simply what she has to do to survive based on the leader that she chose and the allegiance that she chose. You understand what I'm saying? Kind of like how a Democrat going vote Democratic, a Republican going vote Republican. The woman has no basic faculties. So in a lot of ways, I don't mean to say that there's nothing real about it, but what I'm saying is that the realness is only parallel to her ability to submit. Does anybody get?
No, let me. I get what you're saying. Let me add this. Let me add this to what you were saying, and this is what guys have to remember about women. And I'm not saying this to disparage women in any way. Out of all the creatures that God created, the human female is the most selfish one. The human female is the most selfish one. And she has to be, right? She has to be simply because, to your point, Miles, any one man that she associates with, attaches herself to, she can't be guaranteed he's always going to be there. She can't be guaranteed of that. So she always has to have a backup plan. Always have to have a backup plan, right? And when it comes to a woman's emotions, women place their emotions above any, every, and all things known to man. Their emotions, how they feel, their moods are more important than anybody else's mood in a motherfucking house or in a place, right? So when we talk about performative, right? To your point, women will always do what they need to do to get what they want, but they will only go so far to get it when it comes to certain men. There's a limit to how much they're willing to perform. Right? It's kind of like when we talk about dates. Like if you have a woman say, "I'm not doing a coffee date with you. You have to take me somewhere to eat." What she is saying is, in order for me to perform like I like you, that date is too cheap. You need a better date. Then I can show up and perform like I like you better.
Right.
Y'all got it.
to Miles, to what Miles was talking about, I'll explain just like a little bit from the chart that I made.
Yeah,
so,
I'm looking at it now.
So if you look at like level 1 and 2, that's where the performance is. Level 3 is when it starts to shift, and that's when the authority is emotionally or internalized. So you're right in that it's always led by the emotions, but the emotions then start to become influenced by the men. right? And
Right.
so the relationship itself becomes central. The approval, direction, and standards of the dominant start to shape the submissive's identity or the woman's identity. And that's when it doesn't like shape it, but that's the beginnings of the shaping, where having that approval, because she's looking up to him, because she trusts him, because she respects him, that's when that starts to shift over.
Mm.
And like then it becomes incredibly pivotal after that on level 4, because that's when it becomes internalized as like the self-concept starts to change. And so then this thing that she's becoming starts changing her identity. Because like you said, like there's no real like baseline code that's in there permanently. It can alter. Like you mentioned, like that there's it's like a blank slate. You've mentioned that before.
Yeah.
So that's when this shifts from action to being. Instead of I submit, it becomes I am submissive. Right.
Yes.
And there's a difference there. So then he over time becomes the centralized location for her governing herself, of like, what would he think? What makes him happy? What's good for him? And all these things. And they start you becoming that like in the center of a wheel, that central hub for like all of her spokes going into. And she's like the wheel around it, and utilizing that hub as a means of stability.
Right.
Let
I just want to.
let me say what up. Go ahead.
I just want to warn some guys that until they get to the depths where they're touching the soul of their emotions, not to pretend like it's real. And I think that's where a lot of guys get in trouble, because they see certain things that are performative, but they tell themselves it's real, right? And I think that, that's why I like your chart there, Justin, because I'm sort of with Miles. Like, I think it's all performative because it's all a choice, that people make choices and they choose to be where they want to be.
Right.
I tend to think that certain people can get a certain performance out of somebody more than others. And no knock on you or the next person. It's just that, they're connected emotionally a little different with that person than they are with you. So, but I just warn guys not to think that it's real when you really don't know.
Right.
Me personally, I like my performance with a lot of love and a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. To me, I see the difference when a plate is made with love and a plate is made just to bring you a plate.
Right.
There is a difference. So, my thing is until you tap into the emotions, and for those who ever tapped into some emotions, to usually that person is I like to use the term because a lot of people watch that movie Imprinted. A lot of ladies watch that movie with the Wolverines and the vampires, and they have this statement that the person is imprinted, like they're so emotionally attached that they're just together no matter what. And I've seen people, it didn't matter the relationship they were in with anybody else. That person was their person. That person could call them up and say, "Hey, come pick me up." And the boyfriend's like, "What are you doing?" "Well, he just called me to come pick it up." "Your ex-boyfriend called you?" "Yeah, but he really needs me to come pick him up." Like,
so is that emotionally? So is that imprinting? Do you think is performative?
It's still a choice.
It can't be performative. It has to be deeper than that. It has to be deeper than that if she's doing that. It has to be deeper.
Yeah, because we do have unconscious, and like there's the thing, like you've like seen like so what was that movie where the guy, he was like a sleeper agent or something like that?
Manchurian Candidate.
Yes, that's the one, the Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah.
Like that's not a choice. Like their actions, that goes way beyond choice. They've been conditioned to behave in a certain way that's beyond their will.
Right.
And so they have a trigger that offsets that, and then the unconscious takes over the conscious mind, and now they're just behaving in a way that they've not even chosen to do. And I'm like, and this is stuff that I've seen.
Yeah.
But up to that point, they have to agree
been in that
to.
situation.
up to that point, they do have to agree to willingly let go of the will. So you are correct, but it's just after that threshold, there's no.
But it's a deeper connection.
I think it's a mixture. I definitely think I think both theories are correct in a way. And I think that there's a point that like what Justin is saying, where it becomes automatic because, if and this is why I said her performance or the realness of her. And that's why I'm kind of mixing them both, where I'm saying the realness of her performance is based on the realness of the character of the man. Meaning, if his character is so consistent and put her in a place where, and even to incorporate what Jillian T is saying right here, our emotions lead us to the point where that man's consistency and his character has put her in a place where she is emotionally attached to the feeling that he gives and only he gives. Right. And it's different from all the other men.
Emotionally attached.
And it put her in a place where it's like she subconsciously and consciously relies on his character. Then you could definitely have that. You can have that imprint model, or that imprint kind of effect on on the woman. But again, it's only as real as the identity or the character of that man, and I've learned this from Justin myself. Like the whole thing with dominance. And this is also something that I've said about vetting, right? Because this also has to do with vetting to a certain extent, right? Where you go through the motions and you set these standards. And you have to remember that you're not just vetting and training the woman, but you are vetting and training yourself to maintain your character and to have that level of consistency that is fucking impeccable. Like your consistency of character has to be so fucking impeccable that she couldn't see, like if somebody else brought her actual proof of you behaving somewhere other way, she couldn't and wouldn't believe them.
It almost comes to a point of emotional addiction.
Let me say this real quick. Hold on real quick. Let me say this because I got cut off earlier. Let me say this. Let me get this off my chest real quick. So to your point, J. Roman, you mentioned earlier that the guy or that the woman would get up and go do something for the ex. I've had that happen. I had a situation where I was in a relationship and I had a flat tire the day before. So I had a donut on my car. And then I got a flat tire and a second tire the very next day. So I couldn't do shit. I was just stuck in traffic. And the woman I was in a relationship with, she was stuck somewhere in a business meeting and couldn't come. I called an ex who was in an active relationship. I said, yo, I need you. Bro, she stopped what she was doing and came to me, right? So to your point, I think what happens, to all you guys' point and to Miles, when you said it depends on how real it is, I think what also happens is it's not only the connection with the ex she has, it's how powerful the connection is she has with the new guy. So if the connection she has with the ex is still more powerful than the connection she got with the new guy, she's gonna jump when the old guy, even though he's an ex. Because I was not having sex with this woman. We were not fucking or anything.
Right.
It's just, we still had that connection where she like, if he needs me, even though I'm in a relationship, I got him. Right? Let me say this real quick and I'll pass it right back to y'all about performative versus real. This is a prime example. If a woman is cooking you something, like a woman you just met maybe a few weeks ago, a month ago or something like that. Let's say you're coming to her house and she says, hey, I made something if you're hungry, right? A lot of guys will get happy. Oh, she made some food. I'm about to eat over it. I'm about to go eat. What you don't understand is she made food for herself. The performance was her telling you, hey, if you're hungry, I got something here, right? So you think because you're being fed by her, it's a big deal. Now, whereas real is where a woman cooks your favorite dish that she doesn't plan to eat. She's cooking your favorite dish because she knows you like it. Whether she's eating it or not, she's cooking something specific for you. But if a woman is cooking something that she's gonna eat and she's just sharing, what's really going on? Y'all got it.
I like Juliana's comment here about logical, or I'm sorry, there was the one previous to that, with the make us feel your presence and it will build our trust and lead our emotions and you will lead us.
Zach, can you put that at 105 or for you 1205 maybe? I don't know.
Juliana's previous
okay,
comment.
let me see.
05.
Make us feel.
Make us feel your presence.
Okay, hold on.
Trust.
Real quick.
So as a more extreme example,
I saved that already too. All right, let me grab it. Hold on.
As more extreme example, is everyone familiar with Stockholm syndrome?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And so for those that don't know, it's a psychological survival response in which a person who is held in a situation of threat, captivity, or coercive control begins to develop emotional attachment, loyalty, or empathy toward the person who is harming or controlling them.
Right.
Now, this is not something I'm advocating for, but this is something to say that the strong emotion of survival, right? Because that's an instinct. It's a very deep rooted instinct and feeling that governs like a lot of our behavior. That means that the emotion, if it's strong enough, can change the behavior and then change their mindset. Like this person is no longer this person that's a threat to me. Now I'm like falling in love with them. And so that just shows that like if the influence is strong enough, then the behavior, mindset, and how they even see themselves will start to change. And and like on a simple example is like, what was brought up, like Jay, when you said like just like with some dude and like the ex calls up and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna pick him up at the airport. And you're like, huh? And because that has to do with the influence going deeper than the conscious would normally choose. Because logically she would say, no, I'm in a relationship, I'm not going to do that. But the unconscious conditioning is so strong that she's compelled to do this other thing.
And that's how I met ex's boyfriend, because he wanted to roll along. Like, no, I'm going too. And I'm like, hey man, and I thanked him. Hey man, thank you for allowing her to do this for me. Right. I want to be respectful to him.
Careful with my bag, it's heavy.
Yeah. I want to thank you for allowing her to do this for me. I appreciate that. But I just the side that I like to come from again is for guys to understand, as you're vetting, you have to decipher these things, especially if you're vetting somebody to be there with you. You're deciphering these things.
Well,
yeah, you got to, because this makes the difference between you realizing that, oh, she's here with me, for me, and not somebody that has their own agenda in your world. And there's a lot of times is that you guys will create this world, then allow a woman to come in with their own agenda for your world, instead of you maintaining your world because the way you vetted them. So, we can go back and forth on the performative and the real, but you really need to pay attention, because the guys that ain't paying attention think everything they do is real.
Yep. All right. So, guys, go ahead and call in. We still got three free calls. 844-672-7300, 844-672-7300. Go ahead and call in. We got 3 free calls, guys.
Mr. Justin, you got that chart on a PDF, or you got that chart in one of your books? Is it separate, or is it in your book?
Didn't realize that I was muted. They're separate items.
Okay.
And so, I mean, like I sent them to Miles because I have his email, but Miles, you can send them off to, the fellas. And because I don't know if I've got Zagin's or Jay's email.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put my email in our chat there.
Okay, while y'all doing that, I want to speak to Jillian's comment, and I'm going to read it again. She said, make us feel your presence, and it would build our trust in you. Lead our emotions, and you will lead us. And she's right. What I will say, though, with that statement, the first part, make us feel your presence and it will build our trust in you. When guys see that, they start performing for women. Let me try and say some shit where she can feel my presence. Let me say some shit where she will trust me. And this is what guys don't understand. If you are a pussy beggar, if you lead with your wallet, right? If you're indecisive, if you're passive, if you're very vague about how you move, women aren't going to trust you anyway. So it don't matter what you say. You know what I'm saying? If you're insecure, if you lack self-assuredness and you don't know how to actually plan things and lead women, they're not going to trust you anyway. So it doesn't matter what you say. Let me just say this real quick. The only time words really mean something to a woman is when those words are coming from a man she's actually attracted to. That's the only time, right? A lot of you guys, if women aren't attracted to you, I don't care what kind of fucking soliloquies and similes and haikus and metaphors you can put together, it's falling on deaf ears, right? It's kind of like, you think about like a dartboard, right? You've played darts. Anybody played darts before, right? A lot of you guys, when you say things, your words are not like darts. See, when you throw darts, they stick. They stick. One, when women are attracted to you, and two, when you actually know what you're doing, you know how to move women with your words. But they're not just words because they're coming from who you really are. They're coming from your masculine identity. They're coming from who you are at your core. So because of that, your words have impact. You got it.
All right, we got 757. You are on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. Name, age, city, and are you taking a free call?
Yeah, I'm taking a free call. Yes.
All right, go ahead, bro.
James, Virginia, 30 years old.
Right.
Hey guys, hey Miles, hey J Roman, hey K-Zach, hey Mr. Justin, this is James. How are you?
What's up? How are you doing?
What up, man? How you doing, bro?
I'm wonderful. Got a question for you guys. I was just listening to you guys, K-Zach, and I heard the comment you just said when you say women are not gonna, the words really don't matter so much. That's really how much you make them feel. What I'm struggling with is when you're in a situation talking to anyone really, or most specifically with a woman, a lot of times I feel myself like my attention and my energy is like so focused on like, how can I say it, on her or something else. It's like it's not a nervous feeling, but it's like it's uneasiness. You know what I mean? My question is, how do you, Miles says this all the time, how do you like focus on yourself while you're in the interaction so you don't feel so uneasy or nervous?
Okay, caller, real quick. Okay, real quick. I want y'all to think about something. I want every single man listening right now to think about something. And I tell guys when I do consultations, I often tell guys this. For all you guys that are in college right now, for all you guys that work or you deal with women, you work alongside women or you are around women for any lengthy period of time. Haven't y'all noticed that when you are around women you're not attracted to visually or physically, there's no nervousness? Like
right.
You can literally speak to them fluently. It's only when y'all get around women that you are attracted to that the cat got your tongue, that you get nervous. And the reason why you're nervous is because you are emotionally invested in what that woman thinks about you. You are emotionally invested in her opinion of you. So what happens is you temper your words. Temper your words means you watch what you say because you don't want to say something that's going to get you rejected harshly. You don't want to say something where she might look at you like a goofball. You don't want to say something that you think might anger or offend her. So you walk on eggshells with your words. Y'all got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the root of it is James. How you doing, man? At the root of it is a lot of this, and you're not alone in this. A lot of guys have the same fear, and at the root of it is the person saying to themselves, "I'm afraid that she's going to see in me what I see in myself," and that's the main crux of this sort of thing. And to get past it, there's two things that you need to do. This is for any person who's experiencing the same thing. One are like powerful reframes, right? So reframing is hearing the general narrative that's in your head that says, I'm a loser, I can't do this, I suck, like no one likes me, that sort of thing. Like that's a particular framing that you have in your mind, and you have to reframe it. You say, no, I love myself, I respect myself, I'm a winner. And it's changing the internal narrative. And then exposure therapy. So the more you do something, the less your nervous system is going to be shocked by it. So you have to train your nervous system to become comfortable with repeated exposure to whatever it is, whether it's fucking roller skating, talking to girls, sparring, cooking food, it doesn't matter. And so you combine those two factors, and then eventually the person will become comfortable.
Is James, what do you mean by working on yourself at the same time?
Wait, what do you mean?
You said somehow you get uncomfortable working on yourself at the same time as trying to talk to these ladies. What do you mean by working on yourself?
Well, I think I may have said that accidentally. What I'm saying is, like, when I'm in the moment, and Miles was actually right when he said it. It's like, because I'm in that stage where I'm just trying to get comfortable talking with people, period. But I noticed this pattern. If it's a guy, it's okay. Like, if it's a woman I'm not attracted to, it's okay. But like, or Kay Zagan just says, if it's a woman I kind of even moderately are attracted to, then yeah, it'll become a point to I clam up. I don't say anything. So, and you all pretty much just answered the question. It's just exposure therapy. I like that. So it's just about just doing it more and more often. But that was the crux of the issue I was having. Like, having continuous, like, relaxed interactions with people, no matter who it is.
Real quick, J. Roman, real quick. Let me just shout out Mr. 1950. Mr. 1950 with the 1999. I think he meant to say respect to my people, respect to the silverback. Salute to you.
Shout out to 50.
Yeah, go ahead, J.
Roman. My older brother gave me this a long time ago. Okay, he said, never be afraid to ask anything, because the worst answer you can get is where you're already at.
Real talk.
Right? So you talking to her is gaining a lot of things, but not really losing anything. Right? So you say hello. She says, hey, I don't want to talk. All right, you have a good day. What did you lose? Did any money get taken from you? Do you feel less of a man?
No.
Then if you're losing nothing, then there's nothing that's on the line. There's nothing that should make you feel nervous just to talk to somebody.
Right.
And the funny thing
it kind of goes along with what we were talking about. It kind of goes along with what we were talking about with the mentality. The mentality has to be, your mentality about it has to change, and it has to be confirmed and rooted and solid that I'm not losing anything.
Facts.
No matter how this conversation goes.
Okay.
You know what? You know what I'll do? I'll use Miles and Lucario as an example. Real quick, Carl. I'll use Miles and Lucario as an example. Both of them have very beautiful women. I hope you don't mind, Miles. Very beautiful women who are an integral part of what they do when it comes to their business. When it came to the joint that we did in Miami, the joint that we did in New York, and even beyond. Shout out to April and shout out to Miles's girl. I can't remember her name. My bad, dog. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to both of them. Like, here's the thing: if Miles and Lucario never would have made it known there was interest there, those women wouldn't be in their lives right now. You see what I'm saying? Those women wouldn't be there right now, being the helpmates that they are. Shout out to them. Right. So my point is, you guys who are reluctant to not only approach women, but you're reluctant to take the mask off and be your authentic self, that could have been your wife right there. For all you guys that are looking to be in relationships, looking to be booed up and all of that, that girl right there, the one you were afraid to approach, she could have been the one. But you're in your own way. Y'all got it.
From what I'm hearing, is really just I don't. It's this psychological trigger that when you see something that you desire, you automatically pedestal it, and then you fear losing it for some reason. Like, it's just weird. Just because you desire it, you fear losing it. But the weird part is, to desire something doesn't mean you had it. So why fear losing it if you never really had it? You see what I'm saying? This nigga 50. Shout out to 50. You understand? Like it's kind of delusional, and we talked about this last week on the on the masculine identity membership Zoom call. We talked about this, and we uncovered that, and you alluded to it as well, Mr. Justin, that the real part, the part that stings about rejection is the woman agreeing with the negative self-talk you already told yourself. That's the part that really makes guys' heart hurt. Like when they oh my God, she rejected me. It's like, no, the reason why it hurts is because she just confirmed the shit you already told yourself. And because she's pretty, you're leaning on that. Because she's pretty, you force yourself to fucking like attach yourself to that shit. Again, I said this on the live with Lucario yesterday. Stop desiring these women. Just stop it. Only thing you need to desire is yourself. That's the only thing you need to desire. Just because she's good looking doesn't make her desirable. And check this out. The only reason why if you really break it all down, she's pretty, she's cute to you, she's attractive. But the only reason why you desire her from the jump, that knee-jerk reaction of desiring her, is because you want to give something that you consider special to yourself. So who is it you truly desire? You only truly desire yourself. So if you do your best to keep that type of mentality, I think you should be okay. And then, of course, with exposure therapy and a lot more practice, you should be all right. But stop lying to yourself and putting these women on a pedestal just because of the way they look. And I don't mean any disrespect, Daniel. You know I fucks with you. You on the membership and all that shit. But it's at this point it's idiotic. You understand? Like it's really not smart.
Okay.
And,
Well,
yeah.
hey guys, thank you for your help and thank you for your time.
All right, man. All right, thanks for calling in, bro.
I will never understand it, how gentlemen allow somebody they don't even know to have so much hold.
Exactly. Because you think they're good. And look, here's the thing. I was gonna say just because they're good looking, but I have to put the extra, the extra I forget the words, the superlatives or whatever, or qualifiers, that you think she's good looking. Because just because you think she's good looking, I could look at her and be like, yeah, that bitch ugly, son. You know what I'm saying? But because you think she's good looking, you're over there, like he said, I clam up. I run out of things to say because I find her attractive. I'm like, come on, man. Look, again, if you love yourself, you should by all means figure out more shit to say, because the desirability has everything to do with you, not her.
Yeah.
So if you want that woman, if you want her because you think she's good looking, then you should be saying to yourself, oh, I should be coming up with a million things to say to this chick because I find her desirable and I want to give her an opportunity to be in my life because I find her desirable. But that's the only reason why I find her desirable. Not because I'm putting her up on some type of fucking pedestal. You understand? Like, we got to stop lying to ourselves. But we got 847. You're on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set Show. Name, age, city. And are you taking a free call?
Yeah, free call. My name's Mike. I'm 39 in Tampa.
Okay.
And going back to the emotion, like getting wrapped up in the emotion with the woman, like to identify that's running you, is that tied to somehow to the external validation?
To identify that's running you? What? I
feel like the emotion, like if the emotion, you can sense that emotion might be running you, is that somehow tied to like trying to get external validation?
They're connected, yeah.
To some extent.
Hey fellas, before we get on the call, sorry, Mike. Let me just pause you for a real quick. I got to take care of some business, so I got to go.
Okay.
But like always, Zach, thanks for having me on the show. Nice to be with you, Justin and Miles. Until next week. Appreciate that info too, Justin. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right. Stay safe, man.
Take it easy.
All right. Mike, go ahead.
RJ, please.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I can recognize the emotion in me, like with the woman. So then it's like, is that tied to somehow in me? I'm trying to get an external validation. Yeah,
again, there's something psychologically that happens once you pedestalize external things above once you pedestal anything above yourself. Once you do that, right? Once you do that, psychologically, what you're saying is that the object of your desire is now more important and more special than you are.
Yeah.
You understand?
So somehow that's happening in me when I'm aware of that emotion.
Right. And then what happens is that you start to tell yourself, I am only special if I can acquire the object of my desire.
Ooh, I like that.
So now when and if the chick says no, or I'm not interested, or I have a boyfriend, now she's confirmed that you're not special enough to acquire the object of your desire.
Right.
You see that? And then on top of that, you become outcome dependent, and you think to yourself, I'm only cool if she says yes, or if she agrees to go out on a date with me.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Michael, it's very important to know that the root cause for seeking external validation or acceptance is low self-esteem and being insecure. Understand that.
Right.
A lot of times, I would actually advise, like, I'm not even gonna mention it, like, or add on to what Miles said, because that's there's nothing really else to be said on that. But I would say that something that will be helpful is to examine how you were raised, because that's what we were talking about. Imprints, those are important. Okay. So if you, for example, had a mother who was never satisfied, everything you did was not good enough, and you grew up with this narrative of I'm not good enough, then that's going to create like this stitch in your history that travels all the way up to the present day. And in order to cut that stitch, it has to be identified first. So I would just encourage you to kind of like reflect on your childhood and what sort of narratives, and you can guess on the narratives easily by paying attention to how you talk to yourself in certain situations. And certain like voices will come up, and you're like, you got to take a moment to like step back for a second, go like, where does that come from? Why do I talk to myself like that? And so you have to like identify, see where you came up with that scenario where you have placed the female archetype as a measuring stick for you. Because it just didn't happen yesterday. This is something that developed over a long time, right? So it's good to understand these things. You don't have to go to therapy about it. Just know
it's buried in your subconscious.
Yeah, just know the connections, and then that'll make you more easily to change the behaviors.
So really, it's the story.
Let me add this real quick.
And the more I tell different stories to myself, then all that gets rewritten.
Yeah. So and then you can rewrite the
You're not
narratives,
completely
of
off.
course.
Let me say this real quick, Mike, and I'm gonna tell you a story to kind of go with what the fellas are saying. There's an individual I know where his mother cheated on his father. Right, his parents were married, and I was asking him. I said, "Was your father successful?" He said, "No." He said, "But my mother was." And the issue that he has is he's hyper-focused on being successful. And he's always worried about the women he's dating finding someone who's better than him. Can you guess what that's tied to?
Yeah, you
Mike,
got that.
Can you guess what his issues are tied to?
Like his performing, like his money.
But what is it tied to? But why? Why is it tied to his money? What happened when he was younger?
Right, because his mom
cheated on his father, and his father, this is what he said about his father. My father was broke and he wasn't handling his business. That's what he said about his dad.
And that's the reason.
Almost like that's the reason. So he equated not having money with being cheated on. So now he's ultra focused on having money because he thinks, because this is what he thought. He thought that would make him feel better about not being cheated on. But here's the key. Here's the key. Now he has money and he still feels that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he was the motivation was a fear response. So his successes were all motivated by fear.
Yeah.
And once he got it, he realized that it didn't take it away. It didn't solve the internal structure. And so, you know, this is just something you come to, like, just through observation, experience, and things like that, you know.
Yeah, because a lot of it is, if you're pretty aware of it, that goes a long way.
Right.
So Mike, this is the bottom line. My bad. Go ahead, Miles.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
No, so this is the bottom line. This is what a lot of you guys have to understand, and this is what J. Roman, Miles, and Mr. Justin was saying. What we've been saying the whole show. When you talk about your subconscious mind, if anybody knows anything about the subconscious mind, everything gets stored there. Everything that happened in your childhood, when you was a baby, when you was 3, when you was 13, all of your fears, your concerns, everything is stored there, right? So your conscious thoughts and even your actions come about as the things stored in your subconscious mind. The problem with the average guy who has insecurity issues and low self-esteem issues is guys aren't being honest about why those things are there, right? The moment you can identify those things being there to begin with, and then you can understand why they're there, you can begin to get rid of them and eradicate them. Yeah. But guys are not, what guys are doing, they're looking for band-aids to circumvent their insecurities. And they think, if I get more popular, if I get more money, if I get bigger in the gym, then I will increase my value. So that way, all the bad boogeyman things that happen to guys will never happen to me. And let me just say this. I don't care how big your dick is, how much money you get, how tall you are, nobody is safe. None of us.
Who was that quarterback? The white guy quarterback, and he was
what?
Any of the model wife or something like that, and she was
Brady.
Yeah, like Tom Brady. Like he is like he's in the top echelon of the NFL as far as like just everything about him, right? And including his character,
even a 1%,
including his character, you know. And she was like, "Yeah, that's not it."
That's not it.
And she's
there's no external thing that's going to like protect you.
Yeah. Nah. I think one of the most important things that we need to realize as men is that our value comes from within, and pretty much no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. Like, because even if you, I look at it like this, even if you die, like you're okay. Right? I mean, you don't got no bills.
You better be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got.
It's quieter when you die. It's quieter when you die. It's quiet.
Like, you're done. Like, because the worst thing that can happen is you dying, right? But if you die, you're okay. Mm-hmm. So what am I afraid of?
You get a lot of alone time.
What am I afraid of?
Yeah.
You have all the time in the world once you pass, right? If that's that's the worst thing that can happen, then bro, we're good. So what are we afraid of?
You're touching on like just breaking down everything, because really, if you whittle down a lot of this stuff, is a fear of our own mortality.
Of course,
it can be, but there's something really helpful with this, because when you do these things, like that guy James, and he's actually a client of mine, called in, the exposure therapy. What that does, it's what the Buddhists call like the little death, and it's the death of your ego. Right? Because you have this idea of yourself, and it's very fragile, right? And it's just this built up thing of like these amalgamated ideas that you unconsciously put together through various experiences, and it becomes this shell of an identity, but it cracks really easily. And this is why people are so sensitive about their egos. But the thing is that you actually enter the neighborhood of manhood once those cracks start happening. And that the ego gets shattered, and now you can actually show up authentically, you know. But that process does not feel good, and you have to kind of like muscle through it in order to get to the other side. But it's a form of death. It's because a sense of self is dying away. That you realize once you get to the other side and you step foot into that gated neighborhood called manhood, you're like, oh, I didn't even fucking need that. Like all those years of this bullshit of who I thought I was and how special it was, you realize it was just a crock of shit.
Right.
And it was just holding you back from just being yourself and living authentically in this world.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said that, Mr. Justin. This is what guys got to understand about manhood and being a man. It's very uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable journey because you have to do a lot of looking in the mirror and reconciling with your false beliefs and how you once viewed yourself through the eyes of others. See, women spend their whole life trying to be as comfortable as possible. They don't like discomfort. They don't like change. None of that shit. Right? But as a man, you must go through that. You must go through the metamorphosis and go through the trials and tribulations and go through the baptism of fire where it's hard as fuck. It's hard. So once you go through that and you realize how hard it is, why would you let a woman in easily? The work you had to put in to get where you're at, why would you let a woman into your life easily? Why would you give her unabated access? Now she has to work just as hard to get in your life as you took to build it. And that's the problem with a lot of you guys. You do the footwork and you let women just, hey, come on in. You don't need no prerequisites. You don't need to have anything but beauty and beauty. Now, Mike, let me ask you this question. What is your ego attached to?
That's what I was just thinking about. And I know it's sex. I know sex is a big thing.
It's attached to your dick. Your ego, because we had conversations.
Your
ego is not only your dick, but the sex overall. Because I know you like to do the other thing. You know what I'm saying? Putting your mouth in places I wouldn't put my mouth in. But anyway, my point is, if your ego is attached to sex, then the fact that a woman appears to be giving you access to that, that's going to make you feel good about yourself. It's going to make you feel because, she wants to have sex with me. So not only does it make you feel good about yourself that a woman wants to give you some pussy, but also that's how you get your value. You think the value you have as a man is associated with pussy and how much pussy you can get. And it's not. Y'all got it.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, Mike. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for supporting the show.
Oh, thank you, guys. Yeah, appreciate you.
All right, man. Take it easy.
And keep your mouth safe. Don't be putting it everywhere. Keep it safe.
It is like a dental dam.
All right, guys. I think we got one free call left. 844-672-7300. 844-672-7300. We got one free call left, guys, and we also have about 10 minutes left to the show. So don't wait too long, because it's Saturday. I got shit to do. I got to get ready for this storm.
Yeah, I got to go buy some groceries.
Yeah.
So let me say this real quick, and I want guys to understand something, right? When we talk about real game is emotional foresight, most men miss this. Masculine leadership also means seeing the storm before the clouds form, right? And I want guys to understand, any guy that's ever had a woman fall in love with them or a woman get kind of attached, quickly, you understand that as women grow emotionally invested, they don't always regulate those emotions. Women don't really regulate their own emotions. The only time you can say a woman really regulates her emotions is when she's embarking on a casual sex encounter and she knows for a fact she doesn't want it to be anything but sex, and she's purposefully emotionally unavailable. That's the only time women really regulate their emotions. But when it comes to being sexually attracted to a man they actually like, women in many cases get to a situations where they can't maintain regulating of their own emotions. That's where you come in as a man and you save women from themselves.
Facts.
I often talk about women having a Disney imagination where you're doing things that they're benefiting from, and they think they are the primary reason why it's being done. Miles, I love what you and Elle said, and y'all said it a couple of times over the last couple of weeks in some live streams, where you talk about the consistency that when you are in a long-term relationship for an extended period of time, that a man's consistency, a woman starts to think that the consistency is about her. And the reason why that is, and women ain't gonna like that I'm gonna say this, but it's true. It doesn't matter what women say on the internet or to you. Every single woman on this planet wants to be special to somebody.
Right.
Specifically, I'm talking about heterosexual women and men. Every single woman wants to be special to a man that they care about. It has to be a man that they want. They want to be special to him. A relationship isn't good enough. They want to feel like they're special. So to your point and Lucario's point, when women start to think the consistency is about them, in their imagination, they want to feel like there is something in that relationship that they're getting from you that no other woman ever got.
Right.
Period. They need to feel like there is something, be it a trip, be it the way that you fuck them, that there is something that they get that they can hang their hat on and be like, I got this, no other bitch can touch it.
I want to know that
wants to feel that no matter what they say.
I want to know that I'm up here and all the other bitches is down here. That's what I want to feel.
Facts. All women want to feel that. No matter, even if they're sharing you, they want to feel that way.
So they want to feel.
They want to feel like they are the top bitch and nobody can touch them.
Yeah, so I go out of my way to do the exact opposite.
Right?
I was gonna lay in.
Okay, hold on to it, Jess.
Save that energy. Go in later after this call.
234. You were on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. Name, age, city.
My name is Destiny. I'm calling from Nigeria, and I'm 23 years old.
Hey, listen, yeah. All right. No. You got to say all that again. I didn't hear nothing.
Okay, I said my name is Destiny. I'm calling from Nigeria, and I'm 23 years old.
22 years old. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. My question is that whenever I'm actually walking, maybe heading somewhere, when I see a girl that I'm kind of attracted to, I always hesitate when I want to make that approach. This is when I'm actually walking. But when she's sitting there, I can easily make that approach. So I kind of walk towards that. Maybe when I'm actually heading somewhere and I see her coming my way, how can I approach her? Because I always hesitate, then she will just walk past me. And I'll be creating.
Did you guys catch any of that?
I heard something about when she's sitting still.
No.
Or when she's walking and you get nervous to approach her or something like that. Can you please try to? I know you're from Nigeria, but could you possibly try to enunciate just a little bit better or slow it down just a little bit better?
Okay. I said when I'm actually heading somewhere.
When you're okay. Oh, wait. When you're headed somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I see a girl that I'm actually attracted to.
You see a girl that you are attracted to. So when you're headed somewhere and you see a girl that you're actually attracted to, okay?
Yeah. I always hesitate to make the approach.
He always hesitates to make the approach. Wait, we gotta take this step by step. So you hesitate to make the approach when you see a girl that you're attracted to. What's next?
So I create this story in my head whereby I would by saying she's headed somewhere, so I don't want to bother her or disturb her.
Wait. You say you create a story in your head that what?
She's headed somewhere. Maybe.
Okay, you wait.
She's headed somewhere.
So you create a story in your head that she's headed somewhere. Why are you creating stories in your head instead of having a conversation with the woman and asking and figuring it out for real?
Why do you hate yourself?
With the accent.
Yo! Justin losing his mind. Yo, call it. Yeah, why do you hate yourself, man?
I really hate myself.
Yeah, I think there's just too many words going on here. Really, just stop with the narratives and go talk to the girl. Like you're not gonna think your way out of this, right? You have to act your way out of this. You want to change his behavior, do something differently.
Right.
You can't think your way and then eventually your behavior is going to change. You're eventually going to have to do something different. So just turn off your head, see the girl, count to 3, and then go.
Cola, you sound like a person who goes to the doctor and says, "Hey, doctor, every time I do this, it hurts." And the doctor says, "Then don't do that." You understand? Like you hesitate to see the girl. You hesitate to go talk to the girl because during your hesitation, you're sitting there making up stories about the fact that she's headed somewhere or whatever the fuck. Why do you sit there making up stories about the girl when you could just go talk to her yourself?
Yeah, like Maz just said, I'm going to be working towards that. I'm also going to work towards that.
Yeah, work towards that, bro. Yeah, definitely, and get some more exposure therapy. You know, do it a lot more. Approach more and more women. You go to a place where there are a lot of attractive women and talk to all of them. Mm-hmm. Even if you're not going to get their number, just spend time talking to them and get better at it.
All right.
Okay, caller, real quick. Caller, hold on before you hang up. Hold on. Don't hang up.
Do you want to extend this conversation, Zach?
Okay, we can't even understand this nigga. No, I'll make a statement after he hangs up. I'll make a statement for everybody else because it's for everybody, not just for him.
Okay, all right, caller. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for calling, man. All right, take it easy.
Yeah. So this is the statement I want to make. It was for everybody, but I'm kind of glad you did that, Miles.
Right.
This is what guys need to understand. And I had a consultation this morning where I had to talk to the guy about this.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need a plan. What's your plan for the women you're dealing with? What's the fucking plan? This is what a lot of you guys don't have a plan because what you do is you say, well, I'm going to approach the woman and I'm just going to take my cues from her. Like, however she wants to go about it, the pace or the tone she wants to set, I'm fine with it. So as long as she deals with me. You cannot deal with women like that. You're going to get used, manipulated, and just dog walked every time you do that. Guys, even if a woman doesn't mean any harm, if she comes across you and you're that way, she can't help but to dog walk you. It's in her nature to take advantage of weakness and get what she can up out of it, right?
Yep.
So you have to have a plan. So whether you just want to fuck her or whether or not you're interested in offering a date, either one, you need to fucking do something and let the woman know exactly what you want to do and have her respond only to the thing you have in mind for her. Have her respond to that. None of that other bullshit you guys are talking about. So if you see a woman, real quick, an example would be you see a woman and you say to yourself, I will fuck the shit out of her. I got plans for that ass. Okay, cool. Once you go talk to that woman, does she know you got plans for that ass? Does she know you got plans for seeing that motherfucker jiggle in slow motion from behind? Does she know that? Okay, now you don't have to necessarily tell her you want to see it jiggle from behind, but either way, let her know where your intentions lie so she can say yay or nay to that thing.
Right.
Y'all got women. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, you guys ever see the Batman movie with Heath Ledger playing the Joker?
Yes, one of my favorite Batman movies.
In my opinion, he was the best Joker. Like he fully embodied that insanity. And there was a scene in there when he was in the hospital talking to Harvey Dent, and I think it was that scene. And he says, "You know, I'm kind of like a wild dog, or this dog who's chasing cars." He's like, I just do it. And if I ever caught one, I wouldn't know what to do with it.
If I caught one, yeah.
And that's kind of his mentality. He just goes and is like impulsive by just getting the car, but he wouldn't know what to do with himself if he actually caught one. And that's the guys you're talking about, Zag. It's like they're like they have no plan. There's no after. They just want to get to the thing, right? And then like, okay, well, you're here. It's like I think half these guys would shit their pants if the girl's like, hey, like I was really hoping you'd come over and talk to me. He would probably take a shit in his pants because he wasn't expecting that to happen. And he's like, well, fuck, what do I do now?
Bro,
I would like for
go ahead.
No, seriously, I would like for Justin to get back to the whole when you said
yes, please.
I don't have to be remembered, but I don't remember what the
no, you were saying was. How when a woman wants to be special, you do the opposite.
Yeah. Because think of the archetypes, right? You think of the archetypes that women are attracted to, right? In like movies, cartoons, literature. He's always neutral about her. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at like any cool like character in a movie, he's neutral to the woman.
James Bond.
He's not.
James Bond.
He's not dismissive, you know. But he's just like, I don't like you, but I also don't dislike you.
Right.
You're just here, right? And that really kind of like digs at the woman's ego, because she's like, wait a second, I've been conditioned, not only that, but reinforced by all these guys and systems telling me how attractive I am, how desirable I am, this, that, and the other. And then there's this person or these few guys who are just neutral about me. I don't know what to do with that, because I have all these regular conditioned responses on how to interact with the guy who's all about me, or the guy who wants to promote me, or this, that, and the other. But the indifferent dude, well, I don't mean indifferent, but neutral guy, it's like, he's not pushing me away. He's not pulling me in. He's just there. Like, I want to know what's going on. And if I'm attracted to him, I want to prove to him that I'm worth him taking on. And this is, you know, I tell this to my guys all the time. Whenever there is a high desire, right, and the person who has the thing that is desired, you now have leverage. And so now, based on your internal constitution, your program, and all this stuff, now you can leverage that strong desire by not jumping after her desire for you and saying, okay, this lust, this sexual attraction, this willingness, I'm going to leverage it so that she can be positioned to win on my program, right? The sex shit, that happens. That's a given. You know what I'm saying? So it's really beneficial for guys to actually become neutral towards women. Don't like them, don't dislike them. Just like how you like, do you have any feelings about squirrels? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't like them, I don't dislike them. They're just here. They're just part of the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you need to get yourselves to thinking the same way about girls.
Yep.
That they're just another organism here. Right? They're not special, but they're not special. They're just nothing. It's a 0 point, you know?
Well,
and this really allows you to operate better. And then if there's this attraction to you, now you can think clearly and leverage that energy that she's bringing to you to push it into like the channels that you need it to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me add this real quick. Like, even with compliments, I don't give women compliments when I first meet them about their physical appearance. The only time I give a woman a compliment is when she purposely puts on something with me in mind. Period. Like, even like when I first meet women, like let's say I set up a date and I meet a woman on the date, I already know she's attracted to me. So when she shows up on a date and her hair is styled different and she's dressed to the nines, I already know she did that with the anticipation of seeing me. But not only that, I've literally had women tell me, I hope you like this. I picked this out with you in mind. Now she gets a compliment. Now she gets one. Because anytime, and shout out to L, he always talk about when women do shit for themselves or they make decisions independent of you, it don't matter.
Right.
It only counts when they make choices and decisions where you're in mind, where women are being thoughtful and considerate of how you're going to receive it. Because here's a woman, while she's away from you, you're in her thoughts and she's saying to herself, I want to make sure I style my hair, wear clothes, and accessorize myself to his liking in a way that he will like it.
Right.
I need guys to understand that. Now the woman gets a compliment. That's why when you guys tell women, oh, you're very beautiful, she didn't put on that outfit with you in mind. You didn't exist when she was getting dressed. So just bear that in mind.
Exactly. Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it. We could wrap it. Wrap it now. Anything what's going on over there at the Dominance Academy, Mr. Justin?
Well, I already plugged what's going on. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, got my 2 books are on Amazon now. The Codex of the Dominant of the Sovereign Order, and that's available on Amazon, as well as How to Be a Dominant Lover. These are both on Amazon. They can be found in the description of any one of my videos, the links to those. And then I'm going to be probably within the next week be putting up the companion book for submissives that's called the Annals of the Yielded Queen, and it's just basically books of like deep wisdom for like doms and subs. As far as this guy asking the question, this is not a simple answer. So the best thing to do is just set up a consultation, and we'll have a chat about it, and we'll get you going in the right direction.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
There you have it. What's going on with the masculine identity?
Yeah, the masculine identity membership, guys. We're going to be having a real deep discussion this Monday, and it's going to be a part 2. The first part was we discussed. We basically broke down rejection. You understand? We broke down rejection, and I kind of alluded to it earlier. But we're now in this part 2, we're going to be talking about the difference between identity and ego. Right? We're going to be talking about that. We also have a video accompanying the discussion, as well as a PDF. So make sure you guys come through, be a part of the masculine identity membership Zoom calls. You have to join and be a part of that. And what else? Don't forget to get your shea butter. The storm is here. You know, you don't want to be too ashy. You understand? And shout out to Justin, because I forget to mention it, but I always use shea butter on my beard. You understand? I rub it in and then I comb it and shit, and it's really soft. It's really, and a lot of times, like, I see it like shine when this light hits it, and everything is really dope. So guys, get your shea butter. And remember, I only sell it during the winter, the fall and winter months, so it's not available year round. So make sure you guys take advantage while I'm still selling the man. So make sure you get that at CunninghamElements.com. And Zag, appreciate you, brother, always, for being for hosting the show and doing your thing and having us, be a part of it. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate y'all coming through. Tomorrow, Real Game No Theory, 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock noon. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Take it easy.